Unfortunately, the van is playing up. It started up and then it died. It was running and then it sort of like had a little bit of a flutter. I don't know, it kind of like, it was like it was hunting the revs and it just cut out. Tried starting it again, wouldn't start. Lucky enough, I'm at outside Matt's. You know, we just had a great day out, messing around with the bikes. It would have been luckier if I was actually at home. It would have been ideal. So he put his code on there, his little reader, and it came up with a code. I think it was P1248. He went off and done some research, but he said straight away he reckons it's a fuel pump. I'd previously had concerns about the fuel pump anyway, because when I had to prime the pump after the engine rebuild, so this is a bit of a worry. I didn't want to have to break down somewhere, and it's annoying because we've got VW Action coming up as well, so there's always a deadline, isn't there? You're trying to get something. You can't write this stuff, seriously. I don't know. So it looks like I'm just camping out in the van for the night. Lucky enough, I always keep, through the summer, I always keep all my stuff in here ready to go camping at the last minute. So just a night in the van on my own. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Right, so here's the issue. I don't know how well you can see down there, but there's the clear line of fuel, the fuel line, diesel line going in from the filter, and that should be full of diesel, but it's empty. Down here on the return, on the bleed off pipe from the injectors returning back to the fuel filter, it's kind of slips down this pipe. Those cable ties aren't really good, and for some reason it does seem to be leaking quite a bit of here, so maybe this is losing air pressure as soon as I turn the engine off, and then it's not able to build the vacuum up. Either that, or we have a problem with the diesel pump. Well, I think there's a problem here somewhere. It might be a combination of the diesel pump and this little air leak that has caused this breakdown. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these cable ties off. I'm going to push this further up, and then we'll reclamp it here. I found a 12 volt diesel pump, really lucky actually. I was going through clearing some of my dad's stuff literally 2-3 days ago, and I found that. So what I'm going to do is the fuel light also come on as well, so there is low fuel. So I don't know whether it's I picked up a air bubble from the tank, I don't know, but the light is on, so take that into consideration. And then this one, which is the clear line that goes into the fuel pump, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it off there, and I'm going to suck from there using that pump into a jerry can and see if it's sucking out, and making sure that there's no air caught in this filter. And then once I know that that's all good, I can then connect this one up and have the fuel pump in line, and then we can force it through into the pump and then try starting it and seeing if we can get the air out of the system and get it primed up so that I can get it running. And then if that works, what I'll then do is turn it all off, and then we'll leave it and see how long it takes until it loses air pressure again. Well, loses pressure. That's the plans. So we're going to Halfords, go get one of the a diesel hand prime pump, you know, the little tulip shaped things, because we had a catastrophic failure trying to prime it with that 12 volt pump that we got. So that 12 volt pump, yeah, it works and it pumps fuel through, but yeah, it didn't work and it made a hell of a mess. So we've got diesel everywhere. I've had to put some sand down. It did fire the fuel through, it did shoot it through, cleared the airlock out, but as soon as we disconnected it, the fuel, it just disappeared and didn't hold vacuum at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to buy one of those little one-way valves, the hand primer, and we're going to plumb it in so that it's in line, and hopefully that can rectify the problem of it sort of like losing vacuum. So we're on our way to Halfords now and we'll have a look and see what they got in store. So what we've done, from this middle nipple joint here that comes out of the fuel filter, we've just clamped a bit of fuel line on there, and it runs around into a diesel hand prime pump, and then that's just plumbed straight into the fuel line. And it turns out I've either got a faulty fuel filter, so we're going to replace that in a bit, but also the sender unit in the actual tank. So we're going to have to well, I have to clean that up in a bit, but what I'm going to have to do, I have to get both these seats out, clean the front, and then the carpet along here, I'm going to have to pull the carpet up, roll the carpet forwards, and then I should be able to access the plate which is in the middle there and get to the sender unit. And then it could possibly be a O-ring that's gone on the sender unit, so we're going to have to get the sender unit out, because what's happening is when we were sucking through, there is actually fuel in the tank, but it's sucking in, when we're pulling it through, even from the tank, it's sucking air and diesel. It's a combination of air and diesel, so most likely that O-ring in the sender unit. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the sender unit out and we'll have a look at that, possibly change the O-ring. So give me 5 minutes, I'm going to get home because we're still residential, and then we'll get this out, get the sender unit out, have a look at the O-ring. If the pipes are cracked, we might have to replace the whole sender unit, but we'll see. Right, let's get on with it. So next I'm going to take out the vent, that plastic vent. Then I need to take out these plastic side steps, and then I need to work out how the carpet actually comes up. So there should be a join at the bottom here. I don't know, I'm going to have a play around, because I need to roll this carpet back to access the top of the tank. Well, that was a bit of a pain. The carpet was actually, I don't know, it was like it was tiger sealed down. Absolute pain it was to get that off. So it's all off now. I'm going to have to give it a good clean up before I do anything else. But yeah, we've got access now to get the sender unit out. So I'm going to have to get the sender unit is going to be here tomorrow, so we'll be able to crack straight on with it again tomorrow. So it's a case of taking those 3 screws out, those self-tappers, take that metal plate off, and we should be able to access the top of the tank and remove the fuel sender unit. Happy days. Right, so on here, well, firstly, I took it out of the packaging, and the first thing I had to do was blow it all off with the airline, because there was so much, well, there was just like little particles of like plastic dust all over it. I don't know, it was very strange. But yeah, on the top here, there is actually a little mark, a little arrow, and that actually lines up with a little mark that's on top of the fuel tank. There's also a couple of arrows here pointing which way goes on and which way goes off. Yeah, just swap it, you know, as you take the old one out, just put the same one in, the new one in exactly the same way as you took the old one out. You know, it's not rocket science. Yeah, I haven't checked the O-ring on the other one. I just went ahead and purchased a new sender unit because I haven't got time to, you know, take it all apart and try and get the right O-ring, and so I just got a replacement, and it was actually really cheap. I got it from Brickwerks, so I will leave a link down below for this, because mate, an absolute bargain price, 70 quid with delivery. So I'm happy with that, because when I was looking on other places like Heritage, Just Campers and other ones, their prices ranged from 140 to almost £200. So something like this, you know, I'm quite happy just to save a bit of money, and we'll get the cheaper one, and that's what we've done. Right, so I have actually gone ahead now, and I haven't started it up, but I did turn the ignition on to see if the gauge is moving. So the fuel gauge is moving, and it's registering exactly the same place as the other one, so we know that's good. Well, it's a brand new unit, so the O-ring at the bottom should seal. And now I just need to fit this new fuel filter that I've got. This filter I got from Euros, as you can tell. So yeah, let's get this on, and then I'm going to get a metal tray, put it under the van, and we'll go from there. Right, so there's that metal tray I was talking about. Just put it underneath the fuel filter in case you do spill any diesel. So I've already gone ahead and taken the metal clip out that holds that that control unit in, and now I have loosened these already, these two little Jubilees, but I've got to take those two pipes off, and then we can take the filter out. Next, I'm going to drain all the fuel from this filter and then transfer it into the new filter. So I'm going to pre-fill the new fuel filter. Right, so it's all in now. The new filter is all plumbed in. So we've got the new filter, the new sender unit, a whole new engine rebuild. The only thing that didn't get rebuilt is the diesel pump, which I still want to get the diesel pump reconditioned. Not only just for peace of mind, because I want more fuel, more power. Anyway, let's not get sidetracked. Let's get in here. Let's get it started up. I'm just going to start it up. We'll get it running, and then we'll run back round the front, and we'll have a look to see if there's still any air leaks. Bear with me. Yeah, we don't want to get copyright strike, do we? So we turn that off. In neutral, happy days. See, the gauge is still working, fuel gauge. Yeah, I did only half fill the fuel filter with diesel, so there will be quite a bit of air still getting sucked through. I reckon for maybe at least another 4 or 5 minutes until all those little air bubbles are cleared. So I'm just going to leave it ticking over for a little while, and we'll come back in a minute. Right, well, I've had it running for, I don't know, about 5 minutes or so, and there's no air bubbles coming through. Everything seems alright. Really happy with all of that. So all I've got to do now is take this out, this little hand primer pump. So I'm just going to disconnect it from there and then connect it up to the outlet on the fuel filter, and then she'll be good to go. Yeah, you don't need to see me do that. That's it, pretty much. Job done.